Hello and welcome back to our KSP career. In today's episode I will be building a science megaship that will contain one atmospheric lander, one non-atmospheric lander, and a relay satellite to relay all the data. And I will be probably sending that one to Eve or Duna, I'm not exactly sure. On Duna we already have a ship that's capable of landing, so there might not be such a priority, but around Eve we only have the relays that have been putting out a lot of science, however, or actually not the relays but the science satellites. So we don't have the successfully landed anything on Eve and Gilly, so I would say this megaship will actually be the ship intended to go to Eve, land on Gilly, and a relay that will be relaying this information. So yes, alright. Very small robotic lander, as you can see. I'm going for full-on minimalism here, and I'm gonna jam-pack it with all the beautiful experiments that I can come up with. So we have the barometer, the thermometer, the Geiger counter, and I'm gonna probably stick in the gravioli. Whatever I can grab my hands on, it's gonna be there, trust me. So gravioli, what else can I cram? Can I cram anything else? Because this one is going to the surface of Eve. Okay, Science Junior I can, but maybe impactor, laser scan, oh those are definitely going. So I'm gonna raise these up and I'm gonna be placing you here. And then, oh, I don't want two of them, I want only one of them. There we go. And then I want the seismic hammer on the other side. There we go. Seismic sensor as well. Kerbal engineer, I hope I have one. Oh, no, I don't. That means I'm gonna cram one in. And start retracted. So, micro atmospheric lander. And this is actually not yet lander because it doesn't have any heat shields. So decoupler, and then we need to cram a heat shield there. Okay, we need to also put in the, I'm gonna put the reaction wheel because I've noticed I don't have any reaction wheels. Good. This has been the bane of my life in the previous episode, so I really have to think things through and make sure that I have literally everything placed. There we go. So oh, actually this one is sticking out a little, so I'm gonna offset this one a little bit in. Alright, now this should hopefully survive entry on Eve. Alright, let's put in the radial mount drogue chutes, although I don't think for Eve, I'm designing it so it can also land on Duna, so I don't want to be redesigning it later on. So now let's put this. So this is what I called the deorbit stage. So the whole purpose of this stage is just to deorbit and slow down before it starts dropping into the Duna's or Eve's atmosphere. So let's save it as a sub-assembly. Micro-atmospheric Science Lander Mark 1, Science Lander Atmospheric Bodies. Then we're gonna rework that one to a non-atmospheric lander, so micro non-atmospheric lander. Okay, correction time. We don't need this, we don't need that. We don't need the heat shield. And I could use a smaller engine here. There we go. Micro landing struts like this. Fit everything a little bit downwards. Okay. And that's pretty much it. I can cram in a magnetometer on top or something, or mystery goo. Oh yeah, mystery goo, because for the lander you don't need magnetometer, it's mostly space science. I'm just now trying to figure out if there's anything else I could cram in there. So let's say on Gilly, what's our thrust to weight? 2.83, more than enough. Okay, I was just curious because I didn't want to have too low thrust to weight. Okay, and that is then, let me just place this guy and then that guy. Okay, so this is like a deorbit, more than enough, more than capable. There we go. Just putting in the action groups. So that's the non-atmospheric lander, and then we have finally the relay satellite, which is the third component, and all of those three will be jam-packed into a big lander. So okay, sub-assembly, micro non-atmospheric lander. So this is, and now I always reroute it so that the engine is the root part, because then it's easy to attach. So now comes the third part, and that's the actual relay antenna. because I'm not sure that on Eve I have a valid relay antenna. So that's why I want to be placing this. I want to launch all of those in a single launch, and we have now the cache. Our Menmus mission has given us ample of things to do. So there we go. Now, come on, give me that. There we go, antenna. Vacuum, there we go, that. Sounds good to me. There we go, and let's see. This relay, that relay. 4 of those gyros. There we go. And I think that's good enough. Set. No, relay, micro, long range relay Mark 1. Okay, so that's the relay part. And now we need to build the actual ship. And I'm gonna go with the Gigan XL avionics module to start with. I'm gonna be putting some data capacity and some science experiments, light and might, I think. And then let's just be placing the fairing adapter, and then we're gonna be placing the... So this is gonna be different. I'm not gonna use the ride share adapter because I'm gonna using the truss structure. So there we go. And then this truss, and then we have the non-atmospheric lander, or the atmospheric lander, and then the non-atmospheric lander. Oh, can I actually cram it a little bit lower? Oh, it's too high. Oh boy. Okay, so this is too high. I need to reduce its height a little bit. So let's move you. How is that gonna work? Now I have the engine. I should probably... Oh, and these solar panels are a little bit clipping in. I don't like it, actually. Shall I be offsetting a little bit higher? Okay, that looks good enough. Can we do it with the monoprop engine, maybe? Put monoprop engines, and I need to put monoprop... Yeah, we don't need then this... Hold on, this is smaller one. Too big, not good. Too large. Oh, come on. Okay, I need to revisit a couple of things. Okay, we could use this engines. So if I remove these solar panels, I can find some smaller ones. There we go. Still decent enough. Good. Ant engine will go away. You are gonna be placed to the side, I think. Come on, like that. Good. Then I'm gonna be placing 2 engines. Okay. I don't like clipping. Offset. We're gonna offset the engines a little bit higher. Good. And now I just need the fuel tanks. I need, because these are fueled by monoprop, so I need to add a monoprop tank. How much? That's 40 meters per second. That's nothing. What about these two? 104. Okay, I think that's good enough. So now I want to be placing this a little bit lower. Okay, good. I managed to cram it in. Perfect. And now let's see the non-atmospheric lander. Good. I managed to cram on all 3 in. Yay! Beautiful. Alright, just making sure that I auto-strut everything. Then let's build the fairing. There we go. Fairing is done. Oh, this will be a monster to control. There we go. And of course, once we build everything, we'll need to do a test. So just making sure that my staging is, for the most part, correct. Of course, I will be double checking and triple checking and quadruple checking everything once we will be, you know, very when we'll be doing the tests. However, it doesn't hurt to have things set correctly from the get-go. Ship Science Mega Deployer, yes. This will be a really fun mission to do. Okay, let's put in also the electrical batteries here. I think that this actually Gigan even has it, but doesn't hurt to have all the necessary components in there. I need to offset the batteries a little. Oh, now I've offset this one. Okay, that was wrong. Okay, batteries in, and then this guy upwards. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm happy. So now come the fuel tanks and everything. So let's see if we can fit this one. This is cryogenic fuel tank and Hecate engine. Can we do that? How much thrust to weight does it give me? 0.43. Well, that's not too bad, I would say. And I need an antenna. I realized that I need a good relay antenna here because, well, not a relay, but a direct control antenna almost. Yes. So that needs to happen actually among the first. So I was actually trying to go with these, you know, cubic struts and hopefully just angling this antenna outwards. However, it didn't really work. So I'm gonna show you what I exactly did. So, since I couldn't offset antenna, I went for a little bit more radical approach. I've unlocked the actuators, which will give me hinges. And the whole idea with the hinges is that they can make things foldable. Okay, so back to this. So, I've unlocked the hinge and I'm gonna take the alligator hinge. This is the solution that I've come up with. And I'm gonna be placing it so target angle is gonna fold like this outwards with an antenna, of course. So I'm gonna adjust it later on. I just want to make sure that I can place it somewhere here maybe, so that it folds out of the way of the solar panel. Okay, this is too high, maybe one strut down. Okay, this looks perfect. Yeah, look at it deploy just out of the way of the solar panel. Amazing. Love it. Okay, this is gonna be great. Told you. Amazing. Alright, so let's make sure that we bind this to the correct action group. So it's gonna open up and then everything will be dandy. Okay, building the cross section and there we go. Alright, time to take care of the elephant in the room, which is Delta V. The 1289 is not enough to get us there, but I actually could use a little bit of photovoltaic panels here on the craft. I'm actually gonna put those because we will be going through a bit of an atmosphere, so I think I want these, you know, to be on the safe side. I'm just looking. Oh, this engine is gonna give me a hard time, isn't it? Do I have a thrust plate? No, I don't. Okay, I think I need to unlock the thrust plate or I have an engine change in some sort of way. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. I need something different. Let's put this guy, and shall we be putting the... Where's the skipper? See? That skipper is more than enough. I just will need a bigger tank. 1.60, 3000 meters per second. That's more than enough to get us to Eve and even slow down. That's good. So this would be our transfer stage, but now we have to have a launch stage. Essentially the thing that will throw us into the orbit. We have, of course, our favorite Bagora. And how much is that one, you know, thrust to weight wise? 1.8. Okay, that's good enough actually, but the Delta V isn't stellar. So we have 2520. We need, I think we need more. So I'm gonna be attaching the side two Bagoras, which will be, you know, once again, Falcon Heavy-ish, like. Although maybe it's a little bit too big to be called Falcon Heavy. Let's call it Falcon Super Heavy. Yeah. I need the caps. There we go. 2 caps. And now I just need to set up the fuel lines. And after I set up the fuel lines, then I need to set up the staging. It's a longish rocket. Not particularly a problem. I just want to make sure that it's nicely aligned. There we go. 3 Tundras, and let's place these. Perfect. Oh, how I love when everything is working and my mouse is no longer pulling tricks on me. Alright. Now we need a metric crap ton of the fins because I want to get the center of lift below the center of mass so that the rocket is aerodynamically stable, more or less. Alright, come on. There we go. So, let's be putting these, you know, how do you call it? Clamps? Launch clamps? Yes, that's the word. I'm sticking to it. And I think it's time that we soon start testing this bugger. Don't you think? Look at it, look. It's amazing. Off it goes. So this is actually a simulation test, if you will. And of course, I'm not gonna test the all way to Eve and whatnot. I'm just gonna test the ascent, the descent, that the landers work, and that the relay works correctly, and that nothing gets broken once I pop up the fairing and all that jazz. So that's kind of the main purpose of my test. I always test my designs because, trust me, so many times I have seen where everything goes bonkers because I've put the, you know, check your stage in and all that jazz. So, yeah, you need to be a little bit careful when you're designing these ships. Alright, here we go. Perfect. Simulation is active. We are shooting for the apoapsis of, as usual, 100. Soon we are gonna be cutting off the fuel tanks. Bye-bye. Those we won't be recovering, sadly. However, and we have enough thrust to wait on this stage to actually perform whatever we need to do, and we have enough delta V for the orbital insertion burn, which is really important. So all in all, I think this will work. However, I'm not gonna say anything until we have tested everything properly. Pointing the rocket orbital prograde, then we're gonna open the fairing. It's a massive fairing, I can tell you that much. One of the biggest fairings that I've run to date. Beautiful clamshell deploy. I always like the clamshell, I hate the confetti. There we go, and burn. So as you can see, we have roughly 2000 meters per second in the ascent stage, while we only need 1000, which means we can use that additional 1000 to actually propel us towards Eve, Duna and whatnot, which is great because this will give us an additional 1000 delta V in the bank to actually do some other maneuvers that we might need to have. There we go. So now let's go, and this rocket decided to go a little bit spinny on me because, well, it was trying to follow the prograde marker, opening up the solar panels. Look how cool they look. I really love these circulars. I think those are from Orion or something. Look at this. Antenna opens on a hinge. Everything is looking perfect. Okay, we have decoupled the transfer stage. Let's see that the transfer stage, it can orient itself. Okay, what's the thrust to weight on this? I can do a screenshot for the launching purposes. Oh, look at this, looks good. Overall, I'm pretty happy the way that this craft looks. Okay, few things more that need to be tested. That's the atmosphere, no, that's the non-atmospheric lander. Okay, what I want to be testing then is that it can go left, right, whatnot. Opening up the solar panels. Antennas. Alright. Decouple perhaps? Yes. Oh yeah, that was the... Alright. Ant engine works. Okay, I'm overall happy with how that one is performing. Let's go on to our second stage. Decouple. There we go, that's the second one. Okay, that's the atmospheric lander. That one needs to endure the atmospheric re-entry and whatnot. So let's control from here. Extend the antennas. That works. Solar panels, those work too. Okay, we can close these things back and let's see if the re-entry will work on this craft. I leave nothing to choice. I've you know, messed up so many times, especially when you're going to this interplanetary space. You really want to test well, because, well, there is no rescue there, there are no corrections, it's only regret. So there we go, that's the second stage, and let's see that we managed to descend ever so carefully down there, hitting the atmosphere. We have the reaction wheels, we have the controls to keep it pointed retrograde. Of course, I've accelerated everything to bananas. Okay, pulling up the drogue chutes. Drogue chutes work. And then we can ditch, I guess, this part, and I can actually cut them because I really want that we decelerate faster towards the ground. When it comes to Duna, I will probably need the drogue chutes. If we come to Eve, I probably won't even need the drogue chutes, but depends on the destination. I want to make my, you know, landers universal, so that I don't need to redesign them every single time. Pulling up the main chute. I mean, if it works for Kerbin, it will work anywhere, more or less. That's not entirely true because of, you know, the atmospheric density and everything. However, still, there we go. Landed. Good enough. I'm happy. Let's switch back to our craft and test the final piece of the puzzle, which is the relay satellite. Boink, ejected it. Solar panels. Work. Antenna. May not look pretty, but it works. Orientation works. Oh, and thrust to weight is. Oh. It's a little delta V, but works perfectly. Okay, guys. Like if you liked today's episode. Next one we will be probably launching it, or not. But I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.